My family consists of myself, of course, and my oldest child, which is my daughter Cameron, and my youngest son Jordan. I'm a single parent, and so it's just us. We just roll with the punches every day, and deal with everyday life, and it's just us. I've always wanted to be a mother. Just from being raised by my mom and my grandmother, they're so loving and maternal that I always knew I wanted to be a mom. I was injured at 16, so I really wasn't. That wasn't my first concern, was whether or not I could have children. After I got home and really thought about it, then on follow-up visits to my doctors, I started asking questions, and they were like, you should be fine. As far as everything else works just fine. I've had 2 children, and I delivered them both naturally. They were conceived the natural way. I did a home monitoring system. It was Matria, and it was a belt that I wore, and it connected to the phone. And since we weren't sure if I could feel the contractions or not, the belt would monitor the contractions. And the home office of Matria is in Georgia, and there I was in South Carolina. When I was having Braxton Hicks, they would call and say, okay, it's okay. Do you feel anything? I'm like, well, yeah, it's okay. It's Braxton Hicks. But when the time came, it was like, okay, you feel that? I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. So it was cool that I could feel it at the same time, but I still needed that monitoring system to help me know the difference between, regular contractions and when it was time. Well, when they were really small, I used a bassinet. And what we did was we just pushed it as close to the bed as possible. And I was able to kind of just, lean over, and, it's hard to verbally describe it. I would have to physically show you how I did it. But it was a very interesting, the way I would kind of lean the baby into my body. And actually, they both kind of had a natural instinct to curl up to me, so it made it easier. And as far as any other equipment that I used a boppy. That helped with, I didn't have to hold them when I was tired. They would kind of just rest into the boppy. And when I breastfed for a short amount of time, I used the boppy, to hold them up for breastfeeding. So that was my major, I would say, adaptive equipment. And dressing the baby, I would just say using, pretty much they were in onesies half the time. And I thought it was very cool when I didn't have to adapt the onesies. They have onesies with Velcro. So I was able to close them and, basically using my teeth for a lot of things. Changing diapers with your teeth, that's interesting. I'm just like you. I mean, I'm not brave for having children. I'm not inspirational for having children. I think all moms are brave and inspirational, because being a mom is not easy. Being a parent is not easy. If being a parent is what you want to do, know that it'll be okay. You can be a parent. Know your rights. The Americans with Disabilities Act is in place for everything, and that includes, reproductive rights, adoption, being a mom, being a dad. Just, believe in yourself. Don't let anybody question your abilities. You know what you can do. And just trust that everything will be okay. And if you need to, ask for help. If you need help, there's lots of resources out there, and people that you can talk to, for support. And that's pretty much it. Just know your rights, believe in yourself and your abilities, and you'll be fine.